Hey friends, this is Stacy, and just a buddy of Derek's from Intercession. We pray at church together, and just wanted to share with you some things that encourage me. And I am an exhorter, so I hope you are exhorted. But that means I also find myself in need of encouragement often, and that I latch onto it when I find it. So just to briefly tell, I guess now we're in 2022, so this is now 5 years ago, the Lord began a real gentle but intense healing process with me from a lot of trauma in my adolescence with a family member passing away and several things. But in that process, I was wrestling with the Lord at some point because I didn't want to do it. I was like halfway through my counseling and I was like, this sucks. It's painful. I don't want to remember all this, And so I started asking the Lord, why am I doing this again? And he told me it's because I want your whole heart, Stacy. And I started just because there was so much grace and so much of manifest presence during that season, that it became really sweet and fresh to me that he doesn't, we've all heard that saying, like, he supplies what he requires. And because it's true. So he requires us to be holy and pure before him. So he supplies Christ for us that purifies us, right? So anyway, so if the Lord commands and requires us to love the Lord our God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, then can we also presume that he will supply the means to do that, whether through like inner healing, counseling, discipleship, manifest presence, but also how we love the Lord with all our strength. One way we can do that is in fasting, and this is not my idea. It's straight from Mike Bickle, and when I first heard this, it was like getting hit with a 2x4 in the spirit. So I'm going to read, he always puts his notes. So a couple key thoughts. Fasting both expresses our love and it positions us to receive the Spirit's power to love him more. And I had always heard of fasting and sort of this exchange, like we're fasting for something, and I still think that's appropriate, but I had never considered the beauty and the value of just fasting as an expression of love to God. When we do that, stripping away all these other things, we position ourselves to receive more of his love, grace to love him more. And the other thing he says, so I'll try and get this. Fasting is a call to embrace voluntary weakness in order to experience more of God's presence. And so this idea that when we love the Lord with all of our strength through fasting, and Bickle goes on to say, this is us serving, this is us giving, this is us blessing our enemies. There's like those 5 things, Sermon on the Mount. Anyway, I'm going to post that, so if you want to hear the whole thing and just get a whole in teaching and encouragement on it, you will have it too. However, I'm just sticking to this one main point. So, it's just like this little idea that somehow when we make room for the Lord in this way, it allows him to increase. Is such a wonderful thing. And I don't know, here we are like a week into the fast, and a lot of the fog is lifted, from early on. And I just find that revisiting sometimes the why we fast, especially for me, I do this almost every time I fast. I'm like, why am I doing this again? And so just sort of revisiting the theology of fasting, and that it is a love offering to the Lord, regardless of what outcome we're contending for, even though we press on anyway. So just be blessed in that, you guys. Keep pressing on. If it's getting hard, Maybe you've been doing it in your own strength. So ask him for the grace to fast, to love him in this way. And let's keep on going. Love you guys. Blessings.